moment that Kevin Magnussen and his race ending.
Something broke there.
Yeah.
Something broke on the car.
Formula One doesn't scare you slowly. It shocks you in an instant. One moment, everything looks under control. Next, the entire paddock goes silent. No cheers, no commentary hype, just the sound of carbon fiber breaking and a collective breath being held. Because no matter how advanced the cars become, no matter how much safety improves, there is one truth Formula One can never escape. When things go wrong, they go wrong immediately. And over the last 10 years, the sport has delivered crashes so violent, so sudden, they didn't just change races, they changed people watching them. Welcome back to F1 Unpacked. If you love deep Formula One storytelling that goes beyond highlights and explains why moments matter, make sure you like the video and subscribe now. Because these aren't just crashes, they're reminders of how thin the line really is. We begin where danger feels closest, Monaco. No runoff, no forgiveness, just walls that punish hesitation and erase confidence. In 2015, a 17-year-old Max Verstappen arrived with no fear and no reputation to protect. Practice after practice, he looks unnervingly calm. Race day, he starts 9th and immediately starts hunting. No patience, no waiting, just relentless pressure on anyone ahead. Fresh tires give him confidence, and Monaco, the track that offers nothing, becomes the place where he decides to force something that doesn't exist. Lap after lap, he closes on Romain Grosjean, and then it happens. Full commitment, no margin. Verstappen goes straight into the barrier at terrifying speed. The car buries itself so deep it looks unreal. Max climbs out shaken, but okay, and the message is clear. Monaco doesn't punish mistakes, it deletes them. A year later, the fear feels different, quieter, heavier. Australia 2016. McLaren is still struggling, but Fernando Alonso is doing what he's always done, dragging more from the car than it deserves. He qualifies 12th. The race start was aggressive. He stalks Esteban Gutierrez, waits, commits, and then chaos explodes. The car is airborne, carbon fiber everywhere, silence. For a few seconds, nobody knows what they're watching, and then Alonso appears, walking, alive. It's not a relief you feel, it's a shock, the kind that lingers. If this is gripping you already, drop a like, because the worst is still coming. Then comes Singapore 2017, a wet night race, walls everywhere, visibility was almost zero, and 3 drivers carried championship pressure into turn 1, Vettel, Raikkonen, Verstappen. The lights go out, everyone moves, and the race ends before it even begins. Cars collide, dreams collapse, the championship narrative flips in seconds. Hamilton sails through untouched, while rivals are wiped out behind him. One squeeze, one touch, one start, and an entire season changes direction. In 2018, Abu Dhabi delivers a different kind of terror. Lap 1 chaos. Nico Hülkenberg's car flips and lands upside down against the barrier. The radio crackles. "I'm hanging here like a cow, there's fire." That sentence alone freezes your blood. Marshals rush in. The car is flipped back. Hülkenberg survives, but nobody forgets the image of a driver pinned upside down, waiting. 2019 reminds us danger doesn't wait for race day. Shanghai, FP3, a routine session. Alex Albon is pushing, learning, and building confidence. One corner too fast, one mistake, massive impact. The session stopped. The car was destroyed. He recovers in the race, but the lesson is burned in. There are no safe sessions in Formula One.
Then Bahrain 2020 happens, and everything stops feeling like motorsport. Romain Grosjean's car hits the barrier at terrifying speed and explodes into flames. The cockpit disappears, the car splits in two, and for long seconds, nobody speaks. It feels like we're watching something irreversible. Then, against all logic, Grosjean emerges from the fire, alive, walking. The halo works, the safety systems work, and Formula One realizes just how close it came to disaster. If you're still watching, subscribe now, because this is why F1 safety matters more than any lap time. Silverstone 2021 brings fear wrapped in controversy. Hamilton and Verstappen, Cop's Corner, one of the fastest turns in the sport. Contact. Verstappen's car slams into the barrier at enormous speed. The hit echoes. The radio goes quiet. That silence is worse than the crash itself. When Max finally responds, the fallout is nuclear. Penalties, anger, fan bases at war. It wasn't just a crash, it was a fracture in Formula One culture. 2022 shows danger doesn't care about status. Zhao Guanyu is doing everything right, best qualifying of his career. Then lap 1 chaos, flips his car and wedges it into the barriers in a position no one wants to see. Marshall's sprint, drivers help. Zhao survives, but the image stays with you. 2023 brings fear without impact warning. Mexico City, suspension failure. Kevin Magnussen is a passenger. No mistake, no recovery, just physics taking over. The car is destroyed. He walks away shaken, and it's terrifying because it wasn't earned, it just happened. Monaco 2024 delivers chaos again. Sergio Perez crashes at the start, collecting multiple cars. 3 cars, 1 corner, 0 forgiveness. And in a season where Perez is already under pressure, the crash feels like a verdict more than an accident. Then 2025, Imola, Q1, old school, no runoff. Yuki Tsunoda suffocating under pressure in the Red Bull seat. One mistake, one violent crash, and suddenly it's not just carbon fiber that's destroyed, it's momentum. Upgrades gone, confidence shattered. While Max continues with the latest parts, Yuki is forced backward. One crash, and the gap becomes permanent. And that's the pattern. Different drivers, different tracks, different years, same truth. Formula One doesn't give you time to recover. Sometimes it doesn't even give you time to react. The scariest crashes aren't always the loudest. They're the ones that remind you how quickly control disappears. Before we end, if you appreciate storytelling that respects the danger and reality of Formula One, like the video and subscribe to F1 Unpacked, because these moments aren't just history, they're warnings. What makes these crashes so terrifying isn't just the violence, it's what happens after them. Because in Formula One, the danger doesn't end when the driver climbs out, it follows them, quietly, invisibly, into every braking zone that looks the same as the one where everything went wrong. Drivers rarely talk about it, but every big crash rewires something inside the brain. The instinct to lift appears where confidence used to live. The hesitation lasts a fraction of a second, and at this level, that fraction can end careers.
Teams see it too. Data will tell you a driver is physically fine, but confidence doesn't show up on telemetry. That's why some drivers never fully recover after one defining impact. They're still fast, still skilled, but the edge, the willingness to commit without question, can never fully return. And Formula One is brutal to anyone who hesitates. These crashes also change how teams operate. After Grosjean's Bahrain fireball, safety protocols evolved overnight. Barrier design, halo validation, fuel system standards, and all accelerated. After Silverstone 2021, conversations about racing standards at high-speed corners exploded, not because it was new, but because the consequences were impossible to ignore. So now the question is yours. Which crash stayed with you the longest? Which moment made you stop cheering and just hope? Let me know in the comments.